Welcome back, welcome back. Today we will be drawing a hedgehog, and the hedgehog will be holding some sort of flower, and throughout its quills on the back, we'll add a bunch of leaves and whatnot, make it look really funky. Let's get started. Let's have some fun with Procreate. Today we're going to be using, from the sketching folder, the 6B pencil to map out our hedgehog and make all of our decisions. And once we're ready to add the color, we will use the Fur and Fluff brush set from Bardo Brush. You can find it on her website. It is free. In the brush set, you get 5 different unique hairstyles and fur styles and fluff styles. You can find the link in the description. Once you have that downloaded, let's get started. Sketch, 6B pencil. So let's just draw an oval. Let's draw our hedgehog closer to the side of the page. Just a big oval to start off with. So the quills will go out like so. Out this way. And we'll make them exaggerated and nice and big. And then I need a point for the nose. There's the face. So you're drawing a curved triangle. So for example, that will be the nose. That's a little too big. And then it's gonna be like the belly part that comes down. There's a body. I'm just gonna erase some of this. Oops. I want this more curved. The feet will be simple and small, just an oval, like so. The other foot you can't see, it's on the other side. The eye, I would like nice and big. And I want the hedgehog looking back at its hair like, whoa, what just happened? We can have like a whoa, mouth opened, surprised. Maybe you want like a, oh man, it happened again. You can just have like a line like, ugh. But I'm gonna go for the, what? Whoa. There's the tongue. Erase some of this. Maybe exaggerate the belly a bit more. And so I will have one, just a simple arm like so. You can't really see their arms, they're very small. And the other one will be coming out over here. Actually, a little bit more angled out. Because I want the hedgehog to be holding like a flower. And this flower will go behind the hedgehog, so you won't actually see those petals. Okay, so the hair will come out like so. They'll come down. And then I want my hair to go kind of out that direction. This part will be the belly, so this will be a different color, like maybe a beige, and then the quills. And I do want it very, very long quills, very exaggerated. So that I have room to draw in the different leaves. So we got that, we got that. We should probably add some ears. Let's do like mouse ears, but small. How's that? Just mouse ears are usually like nice and big like that. I meant the shape of a mouse ear. They're very, very small. We don't want big ears. It's like curved. Actually, I should probably move that down. I'm gonna grab my selection tool, freehand. Just draw around that and bring it down a bit. You can have it that's too low. Actually, no. Where I had it, I think I like that. Never mind. I'll leave it as is. There's my ear. So within the quills, I want gonna draw a leaf. Have a leaf. Have kind of like a stick going through. What else can we do? Another leaf right there. We've got our little stick. We could just do leaves and flowers. You don't even need to have like little branches in here. Okay, so we got 2 branches, 2 flowers, 2 leaves. Just add a few more of these leaves. And maybe behind here. So there we go. That's the style we're going for. I'm just gonna move that down a bit. So now that I have a rough draft, I like what I see. Now I'm gonna start the inking process. Bring the opacity down. I'll just write sketch. I'll bring it up top and change the blend mode to multiply so that when I start my line work, I'll be able to clearly see it. Line work. Okay, I'll just put actually basic shapes. Jump over to the fur and fluff. So technically no lines because we'll use a shaper brush and feathered brush. Feathered dark, and feathered light. Let's start with that shaper brush. Step 1. We need that beige. So orange, yellow section. More orange. Okay. I like that. That's a good color. My brush size is about 3. And what I will do is first draw out the entire shape of my hedgehog. And here will be the quills that begin. So I'm not too worried about going everywhere, but definitely want that ear and the foot and this arm. If you turn off your sketch layer for a second, you're just seeing the silhouette. My nose looks a little funky. There you go. Beautiful. Now that I have that, I'm gonna grab browns, new layer. I'm gonna grab a brown. I want a warmer brown, so I'm going to bring this down to the reddy orange areas. That's good. And you start using the feathered. So with this feathered, we're going to add the quills. Brush size is about 17. Okay, that's looking great. Curve that up a bit. Beautiful. Change my orientation of the page and add in more and more of these. Now that I have most of my quills in, I'm going to jump back to the basic shape layer and grab a very light version of this brown. Grab that shaper brush again and fill out, whoops, not that light, just a tad lighter, there we go. And fill out the shape of our hedgehog. And actually I'm going to bring that to its own layer, so it doesn't affect the color of my ear or the head. There we go. So filling it out, I want to get to the edge. You want to use stroke-like motion. Beautiful. Go back to the hair layer, or the quills. Quills. There you go. I'm going to select that brown that I was using. It's in your history. Not changing the color, just changing the brush. Going to feathered dark. So we did feathered, now feather dark. When you lay over, some spots will get darker. Now we can build on the quills and it'll be 3-dimensional. Brush also 17. You want to keep the quill sizes, the texture the same. So make sure it's always size 17 every time you use the feathered brush, whether feathered dark, feathered light. And now grab the third brush, feathered light. You didn't change the color of your brush, you're just changing the brush itself. The brushes are designed to change color on their own. Beautiful. We got spiky quills. The last brush we'll use is the for the shadows, but that'll be last. So now that we have our quills figured out, let's draw in our details of our hedgehog, draw in our flower, and then we'll add in the leaves that we have here, and then add more quills to make sure it looks like they're in between and stuck within the quills. So our hedgehog, I'm gonna grab actually this really dark brown for the nose and all the details. Shaper brush. I'm gonna create a new layer above the basic shapes. Where's clipping mask? Clipping mask, enable clipping mask. Turn off my sketch layer for a minute. There we go. And start adding in all the details. So I got the nose. What else do I need? I need the eyes. Brush size is about 1%. You can use quick shapes too to make sure it's nice and cartoony and perfectly round. We got my surprised mouth. My one arm. And what you can also do if it's too wobbly, tap on that shaper brush, tap on stabilization and amount. You can even do 100, but I'd go about 80. And then it'll be nice and smooth when you're drawing. And this is where I'm going to turn off the sketch layer for a second so I can see where my arm starts and stops. And I'm not worried about going over the lines because we have clipping mask enabled. And the ear. I almost forgot about the ear. Okay, let's get into the ear here. There you go. Beautiful. Actually, gonna leave that detail out and just add a few stripes. There we go. That's better. Mouth, arm, foot. How could I forget? Turn off my sketch layer for a second so I can see this clearly. And outline it. There we go. Then what we can do is grab that color of the body, grab shadows, the shadow brush, and if you go over it once slightly, you can barely see, it's very gradual, but if you go over the same spot a few times, it'll get darker and darker. It's like you're building that shadow. So that's what we're gonna do. We backspace, backspace. Also, you can change the opacity. I'm just making my foot a little bit darker. And behind in here, I'm gonna grab that brown too. Increasing my brush to about 20. Just adding a little bit, some shading here. And as you can see, I have multiple shadows here from the brush, the different brush sizes. I didn't erase it properly. So what I will do is backspace. There we go. Now that I've backspaced, I can try again. This time it'll work properly. There we go. The reason why this is happening is because we're on another layer. If we were just to add alpha lock and put the shading on the basic shape layer, both pop up right away. Because it needs a base layer first. So if you're having a little bit of trouble with the second layer, just jump down to the basic layers and then it'll work out perfectly. You'll see it right away. Get a little bit around the ear. Okay. Gonna go out back to the shaper brush. And for any reason you're not happy with something, just go back up to the shaper brush and go over it with opacity on low. Brush size a little high. You can blend it out and it'll look great. That's the awesome thing about Procreate. You can always fix everything. Let's jump into our layer for our leaves. Turn that sketching layer back on. So I'm gonna have this on top of our hair layer and then a third layer of hair once more to cover them up just a tad. So here I'll just type this in leaves, just to keep that organized. Grab a green. Grab a shaper brush, about 3%. Add some details. Let's do that. Maybe grab a yellow orangey leaf. And you can have as many leaves as you'd like. I'm just going with yellow because, you know, fall time. There's yellow and orange leaves, there's green leaves, you got everything right now. And our hedgehog went for a walk in the park during the fall time. Back to green. Actually, I want to get that brown, get a dark brown for our stick. Ooh, it had to be very dark. Okay, let's try that again. Grab a very dark brown. Maybe I'll start from the bottom here and go up. There we go. And from this branch, we have some leaves. Just a few. Grab that dark brown again. Maybe add in another branch here. Another branch there. Add some more green leaves. I'm loving that. Turn off my sketch layer for a second. Looks a little wonky, but we'll add more quills to cover that up a little bit, so then it looks like it's within the quills themselves. I'm gonna go for like an orange. A very bubbly looking leaf here. Darker color to draw on the stem. Maybe one more right there. Beautiful. Our hedgehog is very shocked. I'm gonna grab a very nice pink for my flower here. So the flower will be behind the hedgehog, so I want to bring it down to the very bottom layer. I want the center to be pink. Very pink and purple flower that my hedgehog is holding. There we go. Turn off your sketch layer just to fix up this flower. And don't forget the stem. We need a stem. Let's go with a dark green. The stem is behind the hedgehog. It comes out in front like so. He's holding on to that, or she's holding on to that. Nice. Before I forget, we need to add a white for our eye. So on the basic shape layer, we need this inside to be white. Nice. Our tongue needs to be a reddish pink. We are shocked at this. So here are our leaves. Just fixing this up. Now, going to the top layer here, we quills number 2. Quills 2. Grabbing the feather brush again. Now color pick the original brown that we used. Double checking it's the correct brush. Yep. Size 17 because we're on 17. Yes, it is. Definitely have the correct brush. I will go over the same area. To cover up these leaves a bit. Just a little bit, not the same like before. So you can still see them. Jump over to dark. It'll be darker at the bottom, of course. There we go. And now jump over to feathered light. It'll be much more lighter up top. So we'll add just a few in there for contrast. This looks so fun. Okay, so our quills, we have the leaves, we got a branch in there, we got our nice flower. Let's add some details into our flower. And we can also add, if you'd like, you can leave it smooth, like so, the body, or you can add some hair detail, but I'm gonna leave it smooth because usually they look so smooth. Of course they have some hair, but I prefer it like so. Flower, where's our flower? Our flower is, here it is. We can enable alpha lock by tapping on it, or 2 fingers to the right. Grab the shaper brush. I'm gonna get that color, make it a little bit deeper. Actually, I'm first going to get rid of this pink in the middle and put that on its own layer above. Pink. Oh, not eraser, I don't want to erase. So now when I'm on the petals, on the purple, it's on its own layer, it'll be much easier to add some details. Like so. Just a few lines. And grabbing this pink, a little bit darker. Oops, wrong layer. And I'll be using the shadows brush. So I'm using the pink, not the purple. And just ever so slightly around it. Adding a little bit of an outline, grabbing that same purple, and adding a few strokes very lightly. And this is all on the first layer, not the pink layer. Just to make it a little bit cartoony looking. And again, if it's too dark, you're not happy with it, just jump back over to the shaper brush using that same color, the original color, and you can go over it. Bring down the opacity, bring up the size of the brush, like so. You can lighten it. So you're not erasing, you're just recoloring in a sense. Make sense? Jumping to the green and grabbing that shadow brush, shader brush, and just going near the hands, a little bit darker there, around the nose area like so. I'm just adding even a few lines like that. Beautiful. There you go. We have our hedgehog with a whole bunch of leaves and sticks, a flower, just in time for fall. You can add a background color. I suggest just adding a whole new layer and changing the background color. You can add some texture if it goes below. There we go. Grab a texture brush. If you don't want that, you can, there we go, choose a nice calm color, maybe pink, maybe like a turquoise blue, a little bit of a green even. There you go. We have our hedgehog. Awesome job. Keep creating, keep learning. Thanks so much for showing up and drawing this with me. I can't wait to see you in the next video.